Welcome, friends. Welcome to the Reinvent Masterclass. Today, I'm super honored, thrilled, and excited that we have like the great master with us. The master is none other than Brahmashi Chakravarti Newton Kondaveti MBBS and MD, a New Age master and truly a multidimensional personality. His vision came from his past life memories and Acharya teaching Buddhist wisdom at the ancient University of Takshashila. He believes everyone has an inner doctor, so Sir chose to become a soul doctor instead of practicing medicine. He teaches in spiritual science, past life regression, expert in reincarnation, law of karma, rebirthing, breathwork, holistic healing, and many more. Sir traveled over 120 million 20 countries and touched over millions of hearts teaching meditation and being vegetarianism. So Sir's humility and the love are his main biggest hallmarks. Sir's vision is to establish a global center for learning spiritual science of ancient Indian universities of Takshashila and Nalanda. Fields of art, medicine, economics, and spiritual science were taught during those times. Dr. Newton has spontaneously recalled several of his past lives his incarnation at Takshashila University. So this served as the main inspiration for the vision and the mission of the Quantum Life University. Sir, we are super honored to have you here. Please, so glad like you are here, sir. So thank you, and so we are so thankful.
Thank you, Shwetaji. It's, it's wonderful to be on this platform. Reinvent yourself. The edition 6, and the sixth time you're conducting this 40-day, like a marathon program, meditation program. I'm so happy to be here today with all of you, dear friends. And first, initially, the protocol is to begin with meditation, right,
Yes,
Shwetaji?
sir.
Yeah,
We will meditate for 15 minutes, then we will
yes.
have the
Okay,
wisdom share.
yeah,
So yeah, let's all meditate for 15 minutes. Friends,
okay.
please close your eyes. Please clasp your hands and please cross your legs. Just please observe, inhale and exhale. Last 1 minute, masters. Five, four, three, two, one. Please place your palms on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently remove the hands, masters. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was like such a beautiful meditation we had with you today, sir.
It's wonderful meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the silence, the stillness with the background music, Patriji's flute.
True.
It is very, very deep. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me today speak and share about uh, my little bit about my journey in this path of self-discovery. And I met Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji uh, 30 years back in 1989. And at the time, I was confused and I was searching and I was carrying my own a lot of upheavals in life. And that was the point of time I was really searching for something which can make me to calm down, slow down, know myself. So Patriji given me this meditation technique. He taught me how to empty the mind, how to silence this monkey mind, just observing the breathing. And I was practicing from that time, and I am a great um, fan of this Anapanasati meditation, breath awareness meditation. I know even though it is very, very simple, but it's so profound, very deep. It is very transformative. So we're all on this journey here on planet Earth, and we all have what is called as a spiritual amnesia. When we are born, we forgotten the day one when we stepped into this world as a newborn baby, and we don't have any memory about who we are. Actually, we are in the search. We want to discover who we are because a major part of the suffering is coming because we do not know who we are. We do not know about our identity. And that's where our whole search began, the triggers like suffering, pain, situations in life. It all directs towards, the path of self-discovery. Initially, we want to find out who we are, and what we find out is only the outer layers. What we are not, we discover those things. For example, first, there's so much of struggle with the external physical body, because that's one of the identities that we have, physical identity. And it takes a time, lot of time, to even move to uh, to a deeper identity. So we cross many, many layers of identities. So I have one slide to share with you. So we are actually, we have this essence, which is called core or beingness, uh, deep within us. But when we are born, we are surrounded by outer layers, like vulnerability layer. There's so many emotions, uh, the thought process, and even outer layers of survival protection layers. Because one of the biggest challenge that we go through here in the physical plane is how to survive. Even though uh, we are ensured that we are safe here in the physical plane, but there is a reptilian brain, a part of our creature neurology, which makes sure that you are safe here in the physical plane. It always looks for, am I safe here or not? Um, you know, am I protected here or not? So from there, we'll be constantly trying to go within, because the moment we feel safer, we can actually relax. And as we don't feel safe, we can't relax. Even the curiosity to know about ourselves will not be there, because our whole energy, our consciousness, our awareness will be invested to only for survival aspects. How to survive in this world, a chaotic, noisy, and turbulent, unpredictable, very uncertain world. We cannot predict things, what happens today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. Everything is so unpredictable. So first part of our journey is only with survival issues, safety, and later on, this question that who am I, that really um, triggers us. We want to know about ourselves. Is this life is about only surviving in this physical plane? Is it about only eating food and sleeping and procreating and one day dying? Is it life is all about this? Is there something else more than this? This is the really the question that all of us we get, and we want to find many answers. Why me? Biggest question is why me? Why I suffer? Uh, we always see that my suffering is greater than others' suffering. We tend to ask this question, why me? So all this will bring in us into this path of self-discovery, um, path of meditation. Path, meditation path is itself is path of self-discovery. So initially, what we discover is we realize that I'm not this body, I am not this personality, I'm not the masks that I'm wearing. These masks are only for survival. So we have a happiness mask, even though we are sad inside, and we show happiness mask outside. Even though you are very angry, you smile to please people. So because that's all, what we learned to survive in this plane, physical plane, we wear many masks. we have these personality structures. So what we realize is I am not this personality structure. I'm not this body. I'm not these thoughts that's going on in my mind. And I am not these five elements, which is creating this physical body. I'm not the earth element. I'm not the water element. I'm not the fire element. I'm not the wind. I'm not the space. I'm beyond this because that awareness, that observer, that witnessing consciousness, which is watching everything in life, our direction, our attention goes to that witness consciousness inside us. We realize that, oh, I'm able to watch my breath. I'm able to watch my thoughts in my mind. I'm able to notice the sensations in the body. If I'm able to notice them, I am not this. The sensation in the body is the outer layer. I am noticing the breath. I am not my breath because we existed even before we started breathing. But here in the meditation, when we watch the breath, our mind is anchored to the silence and will not go here and there, will not wander here and there. So the part of the self-discovery process is, we can say neti neti is a Sanskrit word for I'm not this, I'm not that. So we all actually, this is a beautiful journey. Initially, the spiritual amnesia that we do not know who we are, but we know who we are when we are choosing our family. We're choosing to be born on this planet Earth. When we are on the other side, we make so many selections. We choose the this physical realm to be born, and but the moment we step into this, the physical corpa and the corpus and the body, and we forget completely the flesh body makes us forget everything about us. And this amnesia, this layer of amnesia, it will be totally removed when we constantly discover about ourselves. So initially, so we realize that in our life, many situations that we go through, um, many turbulent situations, even though we do not want them, the duality, the polarity that exists in the physical plane, it makes us go through all kinds of experiences here. So the outer layers, and then we sometimes we go into those vulnerability, the layer with so many emotions, so many things that we go through in our life, and then finally one day we reach to the being state. This is a journey towards our core and our being, our essence. So this avocado, this image I have chosen to explain about the personality, the outer personality. There's a mask that we wear, and also the essence that we have deep within us in the seed form. In all of us, that essence, we call that as a soul. In Sanskrit, we call Jivatma, the tentacle self which stepped into this body to have the earthly experiences. So that essence is in everyone. Till we discover that essence, we will be very unsettled. We'll be so restless. We feel so unfulfilled, incomplete. So there is a drive to know about ourselves fundamentally. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? This question really brings so much tears to us. We want to know about ourselves. So initially the story is we are all ugly ducklings. We have our own stories. We label ourselves, oh, I'm bad, I'm not good enough, and all those stories. I'm powerless, I'm a victim, and all those stories, ugly duckling story. And then what we discover that is the magnificence inside us in the path of self-discovery. we realize that we are mighty swans, like a Himalayan swans. The quality of this swan is uh, it can discern between what is uh, milk and what is water. And like that, a, a meditator, an explorer of the self, a discoverer of the self, also knows about what is the self, what is not the self, what is the outer identities, what is my real identity. So we realize that we are all mighty swans, such magnificent beings without exception. We do not know our own really greatness because we label ourselves as very, very earthly creatures. We are identified with what's going on in our life, and but the journey takes us to discover our self, which is the real identity. And that's not the end of it, because we realize that I have the body, but I'm not the body. I have the mind, I'm not the mind. And I have this personality structure, but I'm not it. And I'm not my emotions, even though I have them. And uh, even we realize that I am that self which is all the time present eternally, that flame of consciousness which is all the time present. So initially we only notice that I'm that soul residing in this body, but later on we realize that this soul has is so vast, so collective. I'm all that is actually, and all that is all in all. That vast, expansive consciousness, all-pervading consciousness is not different from you. So the path of self-discovery takes us into uh, so many realizations. So personally, I went through my journey with uh, Patriji and learning meditation and experimenting with the breath, watching the breath, struggling and dropping my outer identities, discovering my inner identities, real identities. So it was such a beautiful journey. It's still continuing. I keep discovering more and more, and there's so much within us. And there are mountains, there are valleys, there are uh, deep within us. There's so much that we do not know. It's totally terra incognita, and we do not know. It is unknown territory. We know only the five sensory perceptual world. We can see them, we can hear them, but uh, inside us, the world, inner world that exists, uh, is vast. It is really, really uh, intrigues us. It constantly attracts us. So I know that whoever is drawn towards path of meditation, they are the seekers of truth, and they are ready for this, to get over that spiritual amnesia, to remember who they are. They're ready for it. And it's not one lifetime's journey, it's so many lifetimes journey. We reincarnate so many times. This this soul, which is coming into the personality structure here in the physical plane, it's seeking answers because it's a play. We want to know about ourselves when we are fully in the flesh body, not when we are outside the body, not when we are dead. We know that after death, we know that we are souls. But when we are in the five sensory, this perceptual body, we need to know who we are really. That is the whole challenge, the whole play and game. So, my dear friends, I'm so happy to be with all of you today, and we can actually interact. Um, I think, okay, still I have time. You want to also ask questions? You're most welcome. Okay, Arunji, can you
Yeah, friends.
discuss your experience? Go ahead, Shwetaji.
Sorry. So I was just telling, like, if anybody has any questions, please raise their hands, and yeah, we'll unmute you.
There is a question. I think there is a. Can you discuss your experience in the sea? Arunji, let me give the context because I'm an explorer. I like this physical plane, all the experiences in the physical plane, particularly the adventures. One of the adventures that, along with my wife, Dr. Lakshmi, we went to Canary Islands and we were swimming with dolphins and whales. It's the most amazing experience that we had. Initially, as a child, I had so many wounds. Like I was so disconnected from my mother, my father, because I was sent away to my grandparent when I was very young. I was so angry at my parents because of that. So I could never hug my mother. I could never speak to my father really with open heart. There's so much gap. And what happened there when I was swimming with the dolphins and whales? They taught me, they brought such a beautiful experience to us. And one mother whale came to me and stood in front of me in a vertical position and looked into my eyes. There's a baby whale is watching from a distance, and I could see with the snorkel the eye contact with the whale, and that whale was communicating with me about the mother's love, unconditional love of the mother. I could never realize that in any other way. But first time, after that, just 30 seconds of eye contact with that mother whale, it totally touched me, and I was sobbing, crying with the tears of joy. And later on, when I came back to India, and then when I met my mother, first time I hugged her. First time I could touch her feet, bow down to her in deep respect. And this is something very precious to me, this experience. Probably I could never heal this through any other ways, but the dolphins, animals, whales, and they heal me. They brought this understanding. Maybe probably I was ready for this experience. Thank you, Arunji. So when we are ready, there's a beautiful shift that occurs, and uh, universe always brings us synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, meaningful events, which will actually accelerate our evolution because we are stuck in different situations, different ways. We are stuck in life, and we get unstuck. We flow in life. Yes, please go ahead. You can ask, unmute yourself.
Very good morning, everyone, and Newton sir.
Yeah.
Actually, we are on this spiritual path, but still, when we are coming on this, like, come from this outer, like, after meditation, and we will go on the like job or anywhere, we will again going to be on the same zone. Like we are going to see anyone by the body, by the looks, by their knowledge. But is this is not going to be happen. We know. But after judging, we are getting this enlightening. We don't have to judge here. But when we going to take a big decisions in the life, like suppose for marriage, definitely you are going to consider these things. But why we are considering this? Even though we know all this, still we are on the same phase. Then what is the use of this? Because that is the means where we are going to show our things, what we have learned. We have to show that. But we are taking the decision on the basis of what society is into.
Yeah,
What we,
that's wonderful, Harishji. Thanks for question. Thanks for sharing. And that's what is part of the one of the identities is social identity. We are part of the social consciousness, social system, the system that we have, and we are people pleasers. We don't want to go against the norms of the society, and it needs a certain courage to go beyond conventional kind of system, conventional kind of parameters like looks and the external things are given more value than what is inside a human being. So, but as I have seen many meditators who came in this path, they they value what is the essence that is expressed through the body, through personality, and they choose a different kind of, they have a different parameters in choosing the life partner. So, for example, they don't see the looks. Instead, they see the qualities that are expressed through that person, through the persona. The soul is trying to express itself through the medium of the mind, emotions, the vocal cords, and the personality. We see those beautiful qualities. And also, the meditator generally are, more with the inner identity, with the essence. They constantly dive into their deeper essence on daily basis. Initially, the struggle is there. We go out into the world, into the office, and we lose ourselves. We get into the drama and the pain and suffering and limitations and all that. But we come back again every day. But one day, what happens is um, you are so much deeply anchored to your own divine essence, your own real identity. Even though you are in the outer world, you are unperturbed, undisturbed. You are just like a water droplet on a lotus leaf. So you reach to that state. You live in the world. You realize about the playfulness of this world, and at the same time, you don't lose your soul fragrance. You always carry the remembrance of the soul of you, who you are. Thank you, Marish. Yes.
Namaste. Thank you so much. I was deeply touched by your share and your talking, but especially about the whales. But I just wanted to say that Patriji is really touching me. He reminds me of a bird. And I'm going to post a couple things in our group about birds and other things that are coming up today. Chandra was our last speaker, and it's a funny song. So if someone wants to hear that, I'll take care of that in our group. And yeah, just
Wow.
onward we go. Thank you so much for
That's
being here with us.
wonderful. Star, I don't know how to pronounce spring. How can I pronounce your name?
You did perfectly.
Perfectly. Okay. Thank you, Star Spring. And it's nice to hear about your association connection with Patriji. And the birds, particularly about the birds, the two-winged birds, and which always inspires uh, all of us, and because it's the spirit which soars high in the sky and want to really reach to such beyond limitations around, uh, because that's the dream of all of us, to be just like a bird who can rise above the limitations and fly high. Even my first spiritual book that I have read is Jonathan Livingston Seagull, authored by Richard Bach. That's my favorite book. So, and actually, that book inspired me. I had the questions like Jonathan, that's a special seagull, which was asking question, what is the meaning of life? Why am I here? Who am I? And finally, with the practice and practice, and finally finds the answers. So that's what I was inspired about this book. Before I met Patriji, I read this book about the birds.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm really opening up to the bird realm, and but yeah, Patriji's blown my mind. I can't stop laughing. I'm like, you better stop it, Patriji, because I'm trying to meditate here, you know? But yeah, it's amazing. So much thank you, so much gratitude, so much love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Star.
Thank you, Newton sir, for your nice experience. And I also had heard that you and your wife had jumped in the middle of the ocean, even though you didn't know how to swim. Is that true?
Yes, 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 Arunji. This is
That's
some
the
of these
experience.
experiences.
I
Very.
heard from somebody, so I just wanted to. I was in Buddha CEO group right now,
Mm.
meditating, and I knew that you were coming here, so I had to get out from that group and come here to
Oh, wow.
listen to you
That's
specially.
so true. So
And
so
I
many
would.
adventures, and this experience where my snorkel got damaged and all the water got inside, and I was not wearing that day, forgotten the life jacket in the middle of the ocean. So it was so my survival self, that aspect in me, which made me to know that I didn't wear the life jacket and the snorkel is not functioning, the water is inside me, and at that moment something really really magical happened. And I was actually with the whales at that time. The Some of the whales were really made me to even more than a minute stop my breath, and I could be floating there. They're all surrounded me. Something very beautiful experience we had with these ocean beings. And thanks for reminding me about these experiences.
That's very nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Vinay ji.
Sir, I have question that like we have destiny or a pre-designed thing. In that we also write about. I mean, I don't know. We also write about the spiritual path and the level we go, that the level we reach. That also is predestined. That is my first question.
Okay.
Yeah, and the second question is, is this the concept of Purnatma, Paramatma, is it there?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Vinay. Um, Actually, the destiny and the predestiny, pre-design. Of course, we have a design. We have what is called soul plan. We Before we step into this physical plane, we choose our you know parents, our family, to be born, and there are many options actually. We have so many options to be born in different locations around the globe. but we choose for our own purposes, for our own valid reasons, for our own growth, means lessons that we plan to learn here in the physical plane, and we choose only broad outlines, not all the minute details, but it's editable. It's all can be modified. So many of us, after coming here, we change, we also edit. There's such a free will that exists, particularly when we are discovering our real self, the true self. We have more, free will, more options available. Before that, we can't, even though we intend for certain things, but they don't happen. But we have this free will, which can make us change. And for example, uh, some they are born with a soul plan, with a particular assignments, and they complete it very quickly. They may add additional tasks. They take up more assignments before they vacate the body. So it's it's such a flexibility that exists. That's why there is predestiny, means the design is there, the soul plan, the soul agenda. At the same time, there is all the time we modify it. And the second part of the question, Purnatma, Paramatma, are they really there? Yes, because we can see that uh, with the analogy, with the metaphor of the seed which is sown in the land, in the ground, and that seed sprouts, and initially it is a sapling, then it becomes a plant, then it becomes a huge tree. It's a metaphor for the expansion of our consciousness that can be achieved. So initially we are just like a very, very like a microcosms. We are very tiny. We feel that way. We feel that we are Jivatma, means the tentacle self, which is residing in this body. Then we realize that we are such huge trees. We reach to that oversoul status, the Purnatma. Then we realize that we are not different from Paramatma, or the Supreme, or the all-pervading self. We are not different from that. Um, these are the gradual realizations that we achieve or attain during the meditations, practice of meditation. It's nice speaking to you, Minai.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good morning, Nitanji. This is Kamal Shah here.
Yeah. Good morning, Kamal Shahji.
Yeah. My question is, in the quest of self-discovery, being socially associated and going through your daily routine, it is very difficult to sometime think upon what you really wanted to be and just going with the flow. Once the desire is there to go for a self-discovery, what is the process that you went through? What are the what are the uh,
Yeah.
points which came in your mind that I wanted to go for a self discovery? I'm not living a life which really meant for me. And then how do you start that journey? Because and there will be some indications also, you will be getting from inside. So
Correct.
how do you get those emotions take over the daily routine and come over it, and then you start doing it? Because it's really difficult to you know get those indications go so strong that you come out of your daily routine. How do you go about that one?
Yes, Kamalji. It's wonderful. The beautiful question. And for me, my own life situations actually acted like a trigger. I want to find out the answers. desperate. There is a desperate need for that. Um, so, and also the book that I mentioned, which acted like a catalyst to meet Patriji. Because when I met Patriji, the very moment uh, his friendship is like the most friendly Buddha, I can say, that immediately touched me so deeply. And the way he guided me, it made me to get interested about this path. And there were many situations that came in my life at that point of time to drop this path and go back into normal routine life. But what made me to be always stick to this path is some of these experiences. My earlier experiences, which made me to be, they acted like a always like a beautiful encouragement to pursue this path further. For example, the out of body experience that I had first time, where I left my body and I was watching myself and floating in the sky like a bird and flying like a bird. And it is so, I have to really ask myself the questions that, is it real? Is it my imagination? Is it dream? Is it then I had the even the evidences that it is so real, because I could go navigate into different places, and later on I could cross check and verify those details. So, for example, I used to visit my native place to visit my mother and see many things. What's she doing? And later on, I used to cross check the details uh, by calling her and speaking to her. And there are enough of these such a beautiful experience which will encourage us in this path. First time I realized that I'm not this body, I'm not Stula Sharira, this gross body, I'm that Sukshma Sharira. Then there are more such beautiful experiences which made me to discover more. I'm not even the Sukshma Sharira, I am much beyond this. I am the causal, I am not the causal also, I am the supracausal. So these experiences always like indicators. So whenever we reach to that deep stillness within, we start having these experiences. One is energy experiences. We realize that I am not this grass sensations that happens in the Stula Sharir grass body, but I'm that subtle, the energy which is moving inside me. And then later on, we realize that I am that non-linear, non-local consciousness, which is all pervading. I can be anywhere. I can be a few centuries back or 2000 years back in a different time period when I was inhabiting a different body. And we realize that we are not just limited to this time space. A consciousness is so flexible, so much like a rubber band. It goes everywhere. It can explore many things. So these are some of the indicators. And also the connectedness, and the feeling of the oneness, like connecting to everyone and knowing that you are not different from the others, even though we have different personality structures, we have different bodies, but we are all the same. We are uh, connected. We are very deeply connected. There is a oneness which is making us play this drama, this play called the separateness. So there are some of the indicators that we notice in this path. Thank you, Kamalji.
Thank you.
Yeah. My question is like when I read your bio, like you said, there was like you got inspired by your past life's incarnation being at the Takshashila University. So, how are the people then and now? Because now
Oh,
it's logical minds and like a fast forwarding, running rat race. So, like,
yeah. So what I saw, these visions were not in my uh, at all from my mind. It's beyond my mind because I never saw, never in any religion in this current life when I was child, when I was growing up, and particularly the Buddhist, never part of my any kind of education. I didn't receive any kind of spiritual trainings. And during meditation, what I saw was the Buddhist monks with robes and then clean shaven heads. And a series of these visions used to come all the time. And I used to see myself as one of them, the monk. And I it was so beautiful because I was teaching in that university, ancient university. Uh, it's one of the pioneering spiritual science universities in the ancient times in Bharat. So I was teaching about reincarnation and law of karma. So after tapping into this lifetime, there's something a huge huge awakening happened in me. I realized that, oh, I am not an idiot. I thought I was an idiot because in this life I was just stupid and foolishly uh, I did so many things. I was judging myself, labeling myself as a bad guy. All that happened, but this realization, oh, I'm not this kind of bad guy. I had something else. So later on, I cross-checked some of these details. Takshila University is right now in Lahore, in Pakistan, actually. It's all the ruins buried there. And so I felt that this spiritual science university need to be uh, established again. It need to be brought into the world again because the spiritual science is need of the hour. We need that Atma Gnana Shastra, Atma Vidya, or Adhyatmika Shastra. The science of spirituality is needed, and that's how it happened. At that time, people uh, just like us, but as you say, this now there is an acceleration. Now, current times is more, everything is accelerated, everything is going in a fast pace, and even kids who are born are so well versed with technology. The first thing they learn is how to use the smartphones, how to use the laptops, how to use the technology, and it is very fast paced now. But at the same time, there's a spiritual, you know, growth that is also happening, spiritual interest across the globe.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shwetaji. Yeah.
Yeah, Nilima Garu, please
Yeah.
ask it.
Good morning, Dr. Newton.
Good morning, Nilima ji.
Yeah, your presence itself is very calming and soothing. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to join you on this course for 2 days, but I don't know what resistance is from my family. They think I'm going to become a sannyasi. I don't know, like every time, no, you are not going. So, like, I'm torn from within. I don't know, like, I'm not going on a wrong path or something. I don't have to justify anyone. S- But every time I want to go there, like one of my family members, like, resistance comes from them. Like, I don't like, I want to be with myself for some time, like 2 or 3 days in few months. I want to be just alone with my own self. Like, I'm exploring in my, I don't know what's happening inside me. I have everything in life, but still, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, yes, Nilimaji.
I don't.
I know. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And the resistance from the family is part of the play here in the physical plane. The first resistance comes from the family members, who want you or everyone to be, following the norms and following the set path. Like you have to be in only material pursuits and you have to earn money, you have to do this and all that. And those who are drawn into meditation path, and they labeling them as sannyasis, they're renouncing the world, and they're escapists, they're
Yes.
running away from the world.
Yes.
But this is part of the game, and even that resistance will be totally minimized when you follow your own um, intuitions and
Yeah, I
your
have
heart.
resistance, especially from my mother. Like,
Yeah,
my husband and my children, they are supportive, but I don't know what hurt or scare she has. Like, I want to heal that thing.
yeah,
Speaking to you, like, I don't know what's happening.
yeah.
Sorry for that.
No, no problem. Yeah,
I love her so much, but why she's scared? Like, I don't know. I want to
yeah,
heal that part of her. Maybe that is a reflection of some of my past. Like, I don't know. I've
yeah,
chosen my parents. Like,
yeah. So she's scared actually
yes,
about yourself
yeah,
getting into
right,
this path, and maybe sometimes uh, you may not be on the right path. It
yeah,
may she is actually behind all that resistance in her. What is her positive intention is she wants her daughter to be more safe in this world. So that's her perception, but it's very limiting for you.
when
But
she tells my father to hold
mm,
me back now, but my father is a symbol of unconditional love for me. Like,
mhm. Yeah,
my mother is very disciplinary. Like, I, I, I call her. She's a, like, that sage was there, na, Parshuram. I call,
yes.
I call her Parshuram.
Yeah. And what is stopping you from uh, your own practice of meditation at home? Because your mom is not allowing you to go out to
Yes,
be there in some
yes,
places and to meditate with
yes,
other meditators. But
yes.
at home,
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
doing
still practice, you can do that. And I think the wound of the, I'm not permitted, I'm not allowed,
that. Yeah,
because when we as children, sometimes parents are so controlling, where they
yes,
want us to be more safe. That's why they try to control everything about
yeah,
us, and it is sometimes a limitation that we go through. Yeah, you can. I know that it will all change. For me, that was also my experience. Initially, everyone thought that I was crazy and insane because I studied medicine, and I left the medical profession. And my parents, my family, everyone thought I was crazy. And my father wanted me to be a surgeon and earn money and be like a very successful. But this is not my what makes me joyful in life. So I chose my path. But now my parents understand me. They come back. They learn meditation. My mother meditates every day, 3 hours to 4 hours, and Everyone transformed in my family, but almost 20 years of resistance I went through. So it is natural, ma'am. It is very natural that we encountered that. How do the river knows its velocity when there is a big boulders which obstructs the flow of the waters? It knows its velocity. So even in spite of anything resistance, uh, follow your own heart, what you believe about.
Yeah,
Thank
she
you,
tells
Neil.
my
Yeah.
father to ask me. She is doing meditation all the time. I'm not doing meditation all the time. Like, why I have to justify to my father and my mother? I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nilimaji. Yeah.
Hello. Hi. Thank
Hi,
you.
Beatrice.
I'm very grateful that I'm in your class. Thank you for your time. I have a question. You say about synchronicities when you're on the path of rediscover yourself, your inner self. Synchronicities happen, right?
Yeah.
I've been very curious my whole life since I was little. I was kind of they say, oh, this, and I always say no. You know why? I always question everything. And even about I grew up and raised in a Catholic religion, and they say you had to confess with the father, right? I said, why? He's like me, human. Why I gonna tell my things to that? I always question, and a lot of things happen through my life, and I have a lot of questions always, and the older I get, more things happen to me, the personal. I have a question like when people, loved ones transitioning to the other, they
Yeah.
pass, they come to visit you because I have that, like you say,
Hmm.
it was a dream, but it feel really like very real. That in the morning I feel my sister's hand on my shoulder when she,
Yeah.
right after she passed, like after 10 days, because I
Mhm.
was, in pain, and I was like complaining, why her, why not me? She was 15, and she came, you know and it was very real. If that happened, that can happen.
Yes,
Or you
Beatrice, and
can find it.
it's very real experience, and it's uh because the soul which left the body, the soul of the sister, your sister, was visiting you, communicating with you, because they want to tell to us that I'm happy here and don't be sad. And they can't see us in grief for a long time. And
That's what
yes,
that's what
they want to comfort us. They want to communicate with us because for you, you are spiritually sensitive. That's why you could feel her presence. And in meditation, it happens. In dreams, it happens sometimes. These are
also.
the, yeah,
Yeah, also, because I don't like needles. I don't like to see blood. And every time I go to like to have a physical, or they have to do a blood work, I tend to faint. And so that particular time, I was looking at the computer back in the 90s. You know how the computers were. And I say, no, I'm not gonna faint. I'm not gonna faint. All of a sudden, I'm like, saw these lights, and I saw my sister. Literally saw my sister, and I was very happy. I want to hug her, and she's like, no, it's not time yet. I just want to tell you that I'm okay. I'm
mm,
happy again. Please let it go. She told me all that, and when I woke up, I was laid down on the hospital. They put me with the oxygen, and I'm like, I was lost when I woke up. I say, what happened? And then the lady, the one that was doing taking my blood, the nurse, she was crying, and she started screaming. She woke up. She woke up. Say, what happened? and she told me that I didn't have a pulse for seconds. So
Wow.
I always had that question. I'm like, it cannot
Mm.
be just because they, but they called me like 2 hours because they say you cannot go right now because the things happen when they try to take the ball out. So
Yeah. Yes,
and
Beatrice. Yeah.
also lately, like 2 years, 3 years ago, uh, I've been telling this I think like 2 or 3 times, a couple times in here and in the course. Um, I have another dream that my bedroom was illuminated. My bedroom was with the blackout curtains. I don't like dark. I mean, I don't like lights when I go to sleep. It has to be dark. So all of a sudden, the light started, from the bottom, started illuminating
Yeah.
my room, and then I don't know, like a bean started growing very tall, and all of a sudden, was in my room.
Yeah.
Was a very taller. I have this question. What is it? Because I don't know. With the blue eyes, really blue eyes,
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
staring. He was staring at me, and I say, What are you? I mean, who are you? What do
Mm.
you want?" And just
Yeah.
staring. I scream. Just woke up, and it disappears.
Wow.
So is
So,
that uh, awakening?
yeah, it is actually, we meet those spiritual guides or guides who shows up either in meditation or for you, it's in the dream state. You saw this blue being with the eyes looking at you, and you woke up, and it's like they wanted us to know many things. They want to pass on the wisdom. They want to impart the wisdom to us when we are ready, and that's why these guides they appear to us. And also the experience with your sister.
Yeah, but
The
I wasn't meditating back then. I mean, I
yeah,
was about to learn how to meditate, but I didn't have the chance or the time because I was very busy raising my 2 kids. I'm divorced.
yeah.
I was very busy with work, like you say. We have,
Mm,
responsibilities, and I didn't have the time to take care of my inner self. And that happened like 3 years ago. My son is already married. My daughter, she already graduated and everything. And maybe because it's already time for me. I don't know. Like you say, the
yeah,
synchronicity happened, and it's going like takes me. I
yeah.
came to the meditation because someone sent me a link that is nothing to do with the meditation.
Correct.
And yeah, it's
Yes,
very,
sometimes that they also make us become very curious about these experiences that we have, and that's how we start searching. And what is this? Why my sister? Is it real? My sister visited me, and the presence, and also the guide, the spiritual guide who appeared to you, and some of the synchronicities that you're going through in life, and they also take us into the path of self-discovery, to know about ourselves. So sometimes in this lifetime you have not began at that time meditation, but probably we do not know that you might have so evolved being many lifetimes, and that's why this is not new. These experiences came to you.
yeah, because I always feel things before they happen, but I
Yeah,
cannot, like, that's why I start more and more because, it's most of the things they're like tragic
yeah.
and I can stop them. When I tell or when I communicate to people, it already happened.
Mm,
That's why I feel very frustrated. I say,
yes.
how I can do it? How, can stop this to happen? How I can help?
Yeah, sometimes these informations or intuitions that we get about what's going to occur, what's going to happen. If it is your personal reality, you can always change it. But if it is uh, a reality of others, we can't alter it. Not
Okay.
much, yeah. But your reality, your personal reality can be always can be changed. That's why
Okay.
accidents. Sometimes we see so many things beforehand, and this can be altered by
Okay.
choosing differently. Thank you, Beatrice. Wonderful, nice to know about your experiences. Thank you.
Namaskar, I'm Dr. Newton. So happy to see you. And on this side, the sun is rising, and here you are, and it's such a beautiful morning. Every time there is an opportunity to see you or have you in presence, it just stirs up something inside, and it's so difficult to put it in words. You know, it just makes me emotional, but it's very beautiful. You know. So the question that right now I have is that when we are meditating, or when sometimes it's just that you are in a very different zone, and you just connect with your higher self and the higher realms of um, presence or possibilities, and the challenge is to come back and to challenge is to live the normal life. And sometimes what happens is that right now, though I have a question, I also have an answer. It's just coming, but I still have to ask you because I do find it difficult. I'm struggling so many times to just be in the world, and I feel probably, I don't belong, or it's not even that I don't belong, but I don't want to be here. It's difficult to come back, and then of course then you start having a sensation of okay, now you are hungry, and so you are brought back. But yeah, I do find this struggle and what to do.
Yeah, yes, Urviji, and these challenges in the physical plane, uh, it makes us again be disoriented, and will be so sometimes devastated what's happening around us, the situations, and but still it's so important. It's part of the our own, you know, the challenges are for us. We set up these challenges. We want those challenges. And for example, the challenge that even in spite of all the cacophony, chaos, I will still remain peaceful. So, for example, when we are able to be meditative and peaceful and still, when everything is calm and quiet, generally we really enjoy that. But if you are able to be meditative, be peaceful, when in the middle of the war, for example, there's something chaos happening, then that's a challenge. For example, uh, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna Paramatma, has given the entire wisdom right in the battlefield. Arjuna received in the battlefield, the Kurukshetra war, the Mahabharata, the war, and it is right there in the middle of the war. He was understanding about soul, about the soul's wisdom, and going through several experiences and Vishwarupa Darsana that happened to Arjuna, because right in the middle of the war, and we are also, this physical plane is a like a battleground. Constantly, there's so many challenges that comes, but it's our part of the our setup. We set up this. We need these challenges to make ourselves expand our state of being a meditator, a meditation state of meditation, even in the midst of the challenges. So constantly we can, with the practice, one can achieve that. we know this game, we know that we have, as long as we are coming down to the earth plane, we belong here. But we know that we are all have come from the source. This is a temporary abode, but there is a sense of belongingness to earth, and we retain it. We need that like an anchor to stay in the body, because there's something that we fulfill here in the physical plane. Meditation, and after knowing about yourself, what comes is our purpose, the purpose for which we incarnated. So the first is who am I, the second is what is my purpose of life. So fulfilling that purpose is really the most joyful thing. That's why we stay in this world and face all the challenges. In spite of all the challenges, we go on fulfilling that purpose. Meditation always brings us the enough of the strength and energy to align to our purpose.
I
Thank
guess,
you.
thank you, sir. The challenge is not to face the challenge. Challenge is to uh, loss of interest.
Mm,
I mean, you don't want to just be here. I mean, I don't know how to explain this. It's just that I don't know.
right.
It's just loss of interest sometimes. I just want to meditate. I don't want to do anything. It's that.
Correct. Yeah.
But that's not how it is. You have to come back. So that
That's true.
coming back
That's
is a
very true.
challenge. That's
That's
yeah.
Sorry so much to interrupt you, sir. Like
yeah,
we have 2 minutes left, and it
yeah.
was like such a beautiful, beautiful presentation by you. And like we are so much glad you are here. And we have only 2 minutes left. Like you would like to share
Sorry.
anything?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Urviji, and thank you, Shweta ji, and please follow the path that you have discovered, and the path that is opened, because the meditation is the path which is um, going to make you discover many more beautiful things about yourself. And I know this is so precious, so valuable, the meditation. And please continue the practice. And sadhana practice is so important. Everyday practice. I appreciate all of you taking out your time for this 40 days, and every day you are all joining in this Sajjana Sangatya, the group meditations, and also sharing the wisdom. It's such a beautiful platform that's created. Thank you
Yes,
all for inviting me here.
yes, sir. Thank you. It was like truly, truly honor for us to have you here and sharing your amazing experiences. And yeah, thank you so much for your wisdom sharing, sir. So, masters, let's all meet tomorrow, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. PST in the Reinvent Masterclass. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you
Thank you
all.
so